Welcome everybody to another rebuild on my channel, and this time we are taking on the Tennessee Titans. This is my actual franchise team, so if you're interested in long-form franchise content, hit the subscribe button because I do have a Tennessee Titans franchise going on. But in real life, the Titans are currently 0-4, and I did go through and I should have everything, most of the actual NFL schedule results correct right in here. I started week 3 and then force won the teams that needed the force win and all the other good stuff. So we have all of that correct. So as of right now, this is actually pretty accurate with where things are in the current real life NFL. And you know, right now, let's take a look here. We already have a good idea of this Titans team, but right now things are not going very well. You know, this team looks awful. And, you know, the head coach is probably going to get fired here very soon because they just look pitiful. For being honest, this team just looks straight up god awful. This does not look like a NFL quality team right now. L'Jarius Sneed looks like a guy who just got paid and said, I don't really care about what goes on here. And, you know, that is a concern. Obviously, again, we're so familiar with this team, and a lot of things I did get rid of, you know, some of these veterans. I did trade L'Jarius Sneed. I got L'Jarius Sneed up out of here and said, you know what? We don't really need L'Jarius Sneed. You know what? We don't really need Tyler Lockett. And that is what we're going to do right now, actually. We are going to work some trades to get these guys out of here, try to get some draft capital, because this team needs a lot of help. So we found a trade for L'Jarius Sneed. We're going to send him to Detroit. We're going to get Khalif Raymond and a 4th and 6th round pick. Out of all the trade offers we had, this was the highest pick in any of them. And so we're going to get a 4th round pick for L'Jarius Sneed. And let's see what other trades we have to make. Going to send Tyler Lockett out for a 5th round pick in 2027 and Jonah Ellis from the Denver Broncos. Gonna do that trade. The point of this isn't to be super realistic just because I think we'll be here all day. And you know what? Xavier Woods, it's a new day. Yes, it is. We're gonna get this guy out of here. We're gonna try to find, can we find something here that gives us some picks? And I want picks. We just want to have a ton of picks that we could potentially use to trade up and move around in the draft when we want to. And Jordan Whittington and a 5th and a 7th from the Ravens. And, you know, we're just going to fully tear this thing down right now. And Sebastian Joseph Day, we're not going to trade him actually right now. Still need some defensive tackles on this team, but I think that's gonna do it here for us, honestly. There's not much else I want to do here, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna simulate to the mid-season mark, which we're already kind of close towards, but we're gonna simulate a little bit, see where this... Actually, we're just gonna simulate right to the end of the season, because there's no way in hell this team's going to make the playoffs. So, this team did not make the playoffs like I predicted. We actually ended up going 2-15, which in the AFC, that is the worst record in the entire NFL. And we're tied with the Saints, so I'm not sure what the tiebreaker here is. The Saints went on a 7-game losing streak, but the Titans will have a top 2 pick in the draft, have a bunch of players that we need to upgrade right now. And Cedric Gray, almost said a different word there, is going to get 6 upgrades, and we're just going to give this all the pass coverage, honestly. He might be an important part of the future of this team. I don't know. In my franchise, I went and traded for Nakobe Dean and brought him in, and kind of Nakobe Dean is probably the future linebacker of this Titans team in my franchise. But in terms of this rebuild, you know, Cedric Gray might reach that potential anyways, up to a 75 overall. The Titans, they have some interesting young players, and you know, maybe they can all develop and kind of become what this team needs them to be. But you never really know in this accidentally upgraded scrambler. I don't scramble too much with Cam Ward. We're going to keep upgrading Scrambler. I'm just interested to see what you get when you upgrade Scrambler. And it doesn't seem too scrambly, these upgrades for Scrambler, if I'm being entirely honest. Break sack and throw on the run, throw under pressure. So, it does have star dev. Not as good of a, probably not as good of a season as he had with us. The rest of these, we are probably just going to auto upgrade the rest of this team. And, you know, 81 overall. Let's see what Cam Ward did in his rookie year, at least. And honestly, a lot of interceptions, touchdowns. Again, I don't know how much of this has to do with, you know, actual his performance, or Jordan Whittington was our leading receiver, actually. So that was an amazing trade. We got no production out of our tight ends. Alec Aomanor there. Trevor DK with 6 receptions in his rookie season. Absolutely sensational stuff. Actually, I want to see defense real quick. Defensively, how many sacks did we have? Who had the most sacks? Jeffrey Simmons with 8, Arden Key. Oladejo does not perform well in this sim, but yeah, interceptions, a couple. So there's that. So not great. We didn't make the playoffs. Let's see what we're projected to take. Ruben Bain Jr. And he's TJ Parker or Ruben Bain Jr. That's kind of what it's looking like right now in the draft. And that's probably true. Honestly, this team does need more help at edge. Caleb Downs would be interesting. He probably is the best overall player in this draft class. Do you take a safety at 2, though, is kind of the question. We're set at quarterback. But yeah, this is an actual draft class. One of the guys who makes really good draft classes doesn't go too crazy with them, I don't think. So, yeah. So let's get into the offseason. Season recap. It is the Los Angeles Chargers winning the Super Bowl over Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Josh Allen wins MVP. Puka Nacua was Offensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. Mecca Ibuka, your Rookie of the Year, and Jalen Walker was your Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we have some resignings that we need to do, and one of them is going to be Jeffrey Simmons. Going to offer him a fat contract, keep him around for the next 2 years, and he's willing to stick around and suffer in Tennessee. Peter Skoronski, we are going to accept that 5th-year option for him. Amani Hooker, we do want to keep around. He's still fairly capable. And he's going to test free agency, so he doesn't want to stick around. He said it's horrible here in Tennessee. There's no good food. I just want out of here. And, you know, I can respect that. I can understand that. Resign this guy? He's not interested in signing. He said he doesn't want to be a Tennessee Titan. Okay. And that's probably going to be it for re-signings, if I'm entirely honest. The rest of these guys, I kind of don't want to keep around. Just kind of don't want to. The rest of them, they can go screw off. Actually, in my franchise, I did not re-sign Joey Sly. Is he willing to re-sign? He's willing to re-sign this time. Joey Sly does stick around, and we'll keep the punter. That'll make this an alternate universe Tennessee Titans franchise, is that we're keeping our special teams players. Roger McCreary, does he want to stick around? What if I offer him $5 million a year? How about that? He's glad to get it done, so he's going to stick around. We still have a lot to work to do with this corner room. Chig Okonkwo, we are going to keep around in this universe. And my actual one, I did re-sign him, but I'm a little indifferent on whether or not I want to actually keep him long term, if that makes any sense. So let's get into free agency. We need to improve this offensive line. Kevin Zeitler did retire, so we could use an additional guard if there is one out there. Travis Kelce, a free agent. We're not really interested in that, if I'm being honest. We need guard help. are there guards in this free agency class? And there are. And one of them is Tevin Jenkins. And I am willing to pay Tevin Jenkins some money. Try to get in on Tevin Jenkins. We need help at guard. Improve this offensive line. We're going to have to really improve this offer, actually. We have to go all the way to like 7 right there. And there we go. So that's what we're going to have to do. Get him close to around $14 million a year, 3-year deal. Let's see if that is enough to kind of get us into first place on that one. And no, the Broncos still ahead. So we're going to add that in there. I know it says we have Peter Skoronski, but what I want is we're going to have simply play one of these guys at right guard. I would just want to kind of get line figured out. Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough because it's doing this stupid thing. Is that enough? No, it's really not. He really is not. I mean, he says he's interested, but it feels like he's not interested, if I'm being honest. So I'm not going to go any higher on that. If I'm going to be entirely honest here. So that's just not going to happen. So we're going to look around here. Ed Ingram, Layden Robinson, we could potentially bring in, honestly. Evan Neal, actually, still only 25. And a lot cheaper than the other guys. You know what? We're going to bring in Evan Neal to be our right guard. We're going to do that. Not really any upgrades at center in this one. Tackle, edge. Are there any edge players that I like? No. Because I think we're going to take an edge player in the draft. I think that's what we're going to do. Defensive tackle, we do need another defensive tackle. Is there anyone who's kind of fairly young and good? Players who are fairly young and good don't normally hit free agency for the most part. And no, there's really not. If I'm being honest, there's really not. So what do we need? We also need corner. And, you know, there's just nothing I see here at corner, if I'm being honest, that I like. And that is not ideal. You know, that is not ideal. Free safety. Are there any safeties that we are somewhat interested here? And the answer to that question might shock you. It's no. We will bring in Lonnie Johnson Jr. Try to bring him in just as kind of some stopgap stuff here. Maybe there's a safety in the draft that we might like. Also try to see if we can bring in Juan Thornhill. Kind of just some guys on the roster to kind of just come in and kind of just be there. I would love to bring back Amani Hooker, but if he's not interested, then I'm going to shift my focus here to Jaquan Brisker. See if he's interested. Is Jaquan Brisker interested? We can do something with this. So let's give him player friendly. 5 years seems wild, but we have the money. Is he interested in that? He is interested in that. That's how desperate we are to improve. And there's just not a lot of interesting things here at receiver. So I don't think we really need to do anything at receiver. I don't think we really need to do anything at tight end, if I'm being honest. And yeah, don't really need to do anything there. I think we're pretty set here, if I'm being honest, at free agency. I mean, we do have a lot of positions to fill, but we could bring in another quarterback. Hopefully someone who's a mentor. But we'll wait to do that, if I'm being honest. So, targeted. We haven't signed anyone just yet. Let's evaluate these offers. My signings. And we get Jaquan Brisker. And we get Lonnie Johnson Jr. And let's see if these guys, are they interested in signing? And they are interested in signing, so immediately we're able to go in here and make this team a little bit better, spend some money, fill some holes, and Travis Kelce goes to be a New England Patriot. And Rasul Douglas is out here. Why not bring in Rasul Douglas for 1 year? It's a 1 year deal, $11 million, and he's interested. And Rasul Douglas picks the Jets. What an asshole. Okay. Well, I don't appreciate that. Maybe Darrell Baker wants to come back. A little bit more money. And, yeah, maybe we'll get Darrell Baker. Let's advance the week and kind of just see what happens there. But free agency, you know, was nothing out there that I thought, oh boy, I have to add this guy or that guy. A couple positions there where we did add, but nothing that like screamed like, boy, oh boy, I can't wait to add this player. And we do get Darrell Baker back. But yeah, a little bit of improvement on the offensive line. A big improvement at strong safety, actually. You know, bring in Juan Thornhill, 5-year deal, a little pricey for Jaquan Brisker, but I like it. And I think that might be all we're going to do at free agency. Actually, I don't want to look at my coach. I want to look at my depth chart. Actually, I don't want to look at my depth chart. I just want to look at my roster. I don't know why there's so many different menus to look at your roster from. So, quarterback, we have Will Levis still on this team. Trevor Siemian here. Running back is what it is. Wide receiver is what it is. Kind of, you know, could use some improvements. Tight end is what it is. Left tackle, Dan Moore. Left guard. Center. Right guard. Right tackle. So we need some backups, but I don't think we need help at edge for sure, but I think that's a situation where we're going to address it in the draft, and gonna need some more linebackers for sure. No, yeah, I think we're decent at linebacker. Corner, gonna need another corner, but it might be a position we address in the draft. So, yeah. So that's what we're going to do. I think what we're going to do is go sign one more defensive tackle and then kind of just be done with free agency and on to the draft after that. So let's go find one more defensive tackle and someone who can just kind of be a guy. Could have brought back Sebastian Joseph Day, but he didn't want to re-sign with me, so... And, who has the best strength rating? Eddie Goldman does. And Chris Smith. Again, just need someone who is... We'll sign this guy. I feel like he'll sign with us. Because no one else is offering him money. Did he? He signed with us, so... We got Fauski. So mock draft number 5, what are we predicted to do? It's still, this time we're predicted to take a defensive tackle, which is a little interesting because I actually don't think we're going to take a defensive tackle. I think we're going to take Ruben Bain Jr. So Garrett Nussmeier, currently QB1 in this mock draft, first quarterback off the board for the Giants. I don't think the Giants would do that, but you never know. You never know. So let's get to the draft. So it's the draft. Let's go make our selection here, and could take a quarterback, but we're not going to do that. This is going to be Ruben Bain Jr. What about Caleb Downs? But this is going to be Ruben Bain Jr., maybe the best edge rusher in the draft. And, yeah, looks good. Elite acceleration, elite agility, elite change of direction. This is kind of weird doing the actual draft class because it kind of feels like you can get an idea of like what players are going to be good anyways. But we're going to go with Ruben Bain Jr. here. and that is going to be the pick. This team needs help at edge, getting to the quarterback, and hopefully this is a pick that can do it. And so there it is. The Titans last year had the first pick. This year they have the second pick, and last year they went with a quarterback. This year going with the defensive side of the football. He was ranked number 8 in true value. We drafted him at number 2. And yeah, does have hidden dev. Looks great in terms of the athletic profile. And so, yeah, looking pretty good here. So I'm going to skip ahead to the next user pick, kind of see what we can do here. And the Giants do take another quarterback. So that is kind of peculiar. I thought that was supposed to be fixed. Apparently not. And that is very annoying, if I'm going to be honest here, to still see teams kind of doing stupid stuff like that. I don't really think that's a very smart thing to do. And so that is just kind of stupid, if you ask me, if I'm going to be entirely honest. You know, that's just, it needs to be fixed. You know, it just needs to be fixed. So we're going to look at a receiver here. I think this team could take another receiver. And, you know, I think that's something they could do. Parnell Tate out of Ohio State. You know, looking at his skills, B, medium route running, D, release actually kind of puts me off of that, if I'm being honest. You know, catching for this guy isn't very good, which is kind of interesting, honestly, because I just watched Mekhi Lemon make some crazy catches the other day in a game. Like, some absolutely insane catches by him, by Mekhi Lemon. Just some amazing stuff. And then you look at the draft class, like, yeah, he can't catch. It's like, I'm pretty sure he can. You know, it is what it is with that. You got Brian Branch in here. We can maybe come back for receiver if we want to. I'm going to take a look here at these defensive tackles. Again, I would actually look to maybe look at some linebackers, but again, kind of, it's very annoying. I wasn't able to hire scouts or anything like that, but I think we need to find corner. You know, and I thought about corner, then also all their play recs are bad. So that's not good. Because this guy actually looks pretty good. Tacario Davis, 6'4", B catching, B man coverage, and elite jumping, elite strength. We're gonna take him. I don't care. Tired of looking at this draft screen. And actually, it's a good pick. There we go. Number 27 in true value. Drafted him at 34. And normal dev. So, a little disappointing, I suppose. But let's get to the next user pick here. Mekhi Lemon goes to the Jets. And only one pick in this round. And Zachariah Branch goes right before us. I was kind of interested in taking him. That is a little disappointing. I don't know about disappointing, actually, but I thought about him. Kenyon Sadiq. I feel like I've watched him make a lot of some pretty crazy plays. I know I just re-signed Chigo Okonkwo, but Kenyon Sadiq, I'm gonna take a shot here. Honestly, it's a reach technically, but he does have hidden dev, honestly. So you know what? That's a success. You know, Kenyon Sadiq, I feel like I've watched him make some pretty nice plays for Oregon, and a couple games I've watched this year. So we're gonna go with that. Next user pick here. So I think a pretty balanced draft so far. Drew Aller goes to the Raiders. And we have 2 picks in this round here. So let's make our selection here. And This guy, Sawyer Robertson, looks pretty bad. This is very annoying that if you don't... Because I started this franchise in the middle of the season, it just kind of... it kind of just decides to have all your scouts really focus on... it kind of just focus them on quarterbacks for some reason, which I don't truly understand why it does that, but it does that. This defensive tackle, Zane Durant, looks okay. What are his physicals looking like, though? Elite acceleration, great. Elite jumping, decent strength. And this guy... good elite jumping, elite change of direction, elite acceleration. R. Mason Thomas. His blocks, his moves are terrible. His moves are terrible. So I think we're just gonna take Zane Durant here. Skip this. I don't need to see it. And 108. Normal. So there's that. If that edge rusher who has those crazy physicals is still there for the second pick of the 4th round, I think I'll take him. But if he's not, we are... Packers took Nico. I don't know how to make good decisions. They took him. And where's that edge player? Is he gone? I think he's gone. Yeah, he is gone. So let's see if there's any receivers that we want to take here. Jaden Greathouse is another guy who I've seen make some pretty crazy catches. 6'1", 218 pounds. Physicals, 4.41, 4.37. Elite jumping, great speed. We're going to grab him here. Jaden Greathouse. And it's a good pick, honestly. Average pick. I think it's a good pick. And yeah, 93 speed, 92 acceleration, 93 jumping. I'll take it. And we are going to let the CPU do the rest of the drafting. We're going to advance to the end of the draft. So this is the draft recap. Ruben Bain, Jr., 78 overall. We got Tacario Davis is a 75 overall. Kenyon Sadiq, 71. Zane Durant, 71. And Jaden Greathouse is also a 71. And then the CPU, with the rest of its picks, took a left tackle, Red Murdoch, then this guy, a free safety, and then a fullback, Max Bredesen, actually, and then a center, Josh Krutz. I think that's how you pronounce that, but a center. So who maybe might have some potential, honestly. I don't know. 78 strength actually seems kind of low. But we did take a fullback, which is kind of what I did in my actual franchise. But I think this is a decent enough draft class, honestly. Let's take a look here. Tacario Davis, rookie out of Washington. His ratings. Zone coverage needs work at a 63. Man coverage is all right. His press is all right, too. So I just have to work on that zone coverage rating, and he should be a pretty decent player for a 2nd round pick. Kenyon Sadiq, hidden dev, a lot of potential here. 84 speed, awareness, acceleration looks all right. Deep route running isn't very good. Not a great blocker, but I'm not paying him to block. I'm paying him to catch. So, and then Ruben Bain Jr. looks pretty good, honestly. 83 speed, 81 power moves, 73 finesse moves. Play rec is at a 70, block shedding's at a 70, which means if I were to user him in actual games, things would not go very well. Okay, so we're back here for Season 2, and this is the roster. Looks pretty similar to Season 1, except we have Evan Neal as our starting right guard. Offensive line, pretty much the same. Receiving core, pretty much the same. Gonna have to hope these guys progress, and hopefully they can progress, but you know, you can't ever count on it. You never know. You do have a fullback. Defensively, the guy that we are hoping can lead this franchise is going to be Ruben Bain Jr., very close to unlocking what his dev trait is. He got a lot of upgrades pretty quickly in the offseason, which leads me to believe that he is potentially either Superstar or Superstar X Factor, which is how quickly he is gaining upgrades. So that is the team. We are going to do the thing that everyone does, that you have to do if you want your team to even somewhat simulate decently in Madden 26. And that is change the playbook to Cincinnati. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to keep it the Tennessee defensive playbook. But that is what we're going to do. And I will see you at the mid-season mark for Season 2. See how we are doing. So we are at the mid-season mark, and we are 3-3, which that's already more games. That's almost double the amount of games we won last year with this squad. So what's going on with it? What are our stats looking like? Cam Ward, again, looking good because it's Cincinnati playbook. That's the playbook you use, right? I mean, it just is. This is kind of, yeah. Running is terrible. 72 yards at this point in the season. That's just awful. I don't know what it is. We can never sim running right in any of these rebuilds. So I don't know what that's all about. But Calvin Ridley, Khmer DK, Jordan Whittingham, Kenyon Sadiq putting up numbers. Jaden Greathouse putting up some numbers. 12 receptions so far in the season. So, so far things are looking pretty decent here. Offense looks better than it was last season for us. Defensively, how are things going with our stud that we drafted with the second overall pick? He has 4 sacks. Him and Oladejo are kind of wreaking havoc on defenses right now, each with 4 sacks on the season. Tavondre Sweat 2.5, Jeffrey Simmons 2, and yeah, and Takario Davis has half of a sack as well, and Cedric Gray with the lone interception. So all in all, things are looking all right. Actually, we are in first place in the AFC South at 3-3, which should tell you that the AFC South is a disaster. It's horrible. It's not great, people. But maybe we'll make the playoffs. We'll see, people. We'll see. Not going to make any moves right now. Don't need to make any. So we're going to go see what happens. We didn't make the goddamn playoffs. 8-9. Jacksonville must have gotten the tiebreaker over us, but still, that's a big upgrade from year 1, winning 3 games, and we end up winning 8 this season. So honestly, all in all, it's not that bad of a deal for us. That's a big improvement. That's a step in the right direction. I don't know if you're a Madden person, you're probably tired of hearing that phrase, step in the right direction. It's just a horrible phrase to hear, honestly. You get flashbacks to all the other previously bad Madden games. That would be steps in the right direction, but really wouldn't. Are we not going to get... If we finally get him to be a scheme fit, Jesus. I feel like there's too much normal stuff in Scrambler. I'm not sure what Scrambler needs to be, but it should not fill in with all these other ability, all these other little archetypes. But either way, he is up to a pretty nice overall here. 88 with morale and accuracy. We're going to have to work on that deep accuracy, really similar to what I have to work on with Cam Ward in our normal franchise series. But Khmer DK must have had a really good season because he's also getting some upgrades here too. And we're going to go with Playmaker for all of these upgrades for him. I'm going to take a look at the stats, see how we did, and I accidentally just hit slot right there because for whatever reason. I love the fact that when you upgrade these archetypes, how can I put points in the Playmaker and then it goes down below the archetype that was below it before? Like, how does that work? Like, I don't know. This is just, they might need to retool this or something, or just bring over the system, the upgrade system from, college football, which I think is actually a little bit better, a little more targeted. I don't know if they need to bring in skill caps or anything like that, but it would be interesting if they did. So Olafemi Oladejo, we're going to try to get him to be a scheme fit as well, just so he can get whatever little extra bit of XP gets handed to players when they become scheme fits. I'm not sure if it really matters that much anymore, but why not? You know what I mean? That's kind of my thoughts on that. Now, granted, a lot of people have made bad decisions in life by saying why not, but I don't think this is that serious, so it's probably fine if we make a poor choice here, I guess. I don't know. He's up to an 80 overall, so he's looking pretty good. Those finesse moves look good. Get those power moves. Gotta get that block shutting up even higher and his play rec. Staccario Davis. We're gonna go with zone because that's what actually needs to improve for him. Is his zone. That was kind of a knock on him a little bit. Granted, I could upgrade man and still get zone upgrades. Again, very strange how that's how it works in Madden. You think when you upgrade someone's man to man, they would mostly get man upgrade skills, but you can still end up with zone. But we get a zone pretty good here, actually. So up to a 77 overall in zones. We got like 6 points on his zone upgrade in there as well. Josh Krutz. I think that's how you pronounce that name. We're going to go with power for him a little bit. And yeah, because he's up to a 70 overall now. I'm not sure if he's going to be a future starter or not, but it's possible. And then we'll go with agile for that last upgrade for him. And there we go, up to a 71 overall. So draft class looking all right. Evan Neal gets some upgrades as well, and that'll be agile because he's going to need some agile upgrades. But Evan Neal gonna get some upgrades. +5 pass block. That's a pretty nice upgrade if I do say so myself. And +3 awareness. Was that it for the upgrades? That was. So up to a 77 overall. So I think that was a pretty good signing. Still a pretty young player. Kenyon Sadiq. Gonna get some upgrades here. He did not have a dev trait or anything like that, but get him upgraded. Possession here as well. And there we go, +3 release. So he's up to a 75 overall. Star development. Was he did I forget that? I think he was a hidden dev. So his hidden dev is star, not superstar or anything like that. You got Jeffrey Simmons down here. Ruben Bain is going to get another upgrade here. We'll go speed rusher for him on that. And what is his dev trait? +4 block shedding. I'll take that. Is star. So that's a little disappointing, if I'm going to be honest. Was hoping for superstar there. For the rest of these guys, we are just going to kind of auto upgrade everyone else. And that's going to end our overall at an 82. We came into the season at like a 79. So honestly, not that bad, all things considered. Let's take a look at these stats. And what do you know? Cincinnati playbook remains undefeated. Cam Ward, 4,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, 16 interceptions on the season. The run game, of course, was terrible because it seems to always be terrible for me in sim, no matter what running back I have. I don't know. It's just really bad for us. Receiving, Calvin Ridley had a very good season, 1,300 yards. DK, almost 1,000 yards. Jordan Whittington has been surprisingly decent for us. Jacob Conquo with a good season. Pretty productive season for Kenyon Sadiq, all things considered. And then Greater House, I would have wished he could have had a better season than that. And Alec Ailmanor, not really doing anything in this sim. It's a little disappointing. But we come back here in terms of sacks. Olafemi Oladejo, it's 12 sacks. And Bane only ends the season with 6.5. So only 2.5 sacks after that. Cedric Gray with 4. Another player that we got in one of those trades we made, kind of pretty nice for us. And then in terms of interceptions, our linebackers mostly got interceptions. Cario Davis got his first interception at one point in the season. So there's that. So let's go on to the offseason, see what we can do. So the Giants drafted, I believe, Garrett Nussmeier, and they won the Super Bowl. And they not only did they win the Super Bowl, they absolutely demolished. Why would I want to look at week 1? What's going on here? They absolutely demolished the Chiefs. Garrett Nussmeier took. I mean, Patrick Mahomes played like garbage. He got sacked 5 times. Terrible game. Garrett Nussmeier wins the Super Bowl his rookie year, defeating Patrick Mahomes and Malik Neighbors. Maybe we should take Carnell Tate. Wow. So that's crazy. That's nuts. The sim engine is undefeated, I swear to God. So in terms of re-signings, not much we really need to do. J.C. Latham, we accepted that option. Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard, we're going to let walk. Darrell Baker, we're going to let walk. Will Levis, we're going to let walk. This guy, we're going to let walk. And this guy, we're going to let walk. So not much we have to do there for re-signings. First trade we're going to make of the offseason is we're going to trade 32-year-old Calvin Ridley away to the Raiders, where careers go to die. Don't really care about the return here. Just want to get him out of here, clear up some space for some of these younger receivers we have on this roster. See, he's greatly regressed here at age 32, which is expected. So going to make that trade, get him out of here. That sounds so mean the way I said, like, get him out of here. Like, but you know, that's what we have to do. We have to get this guy out of here. So free agents, what is out there in free agency? And oh my Lord, it is not that bad, honestly. There's some players here. Jamison Williams is a guy that I have signed before in one of my rebuilds, and I want to bring him here. Very player friendly. Let's give him a fat deal. Jamison Williams. Let's bring him in. Does he want to be a Tennessee Titan? Maybe he does. You know? And I would like for him to be a Tennessee Titan, if I'm being entirely honest. Corey Bojorquez is a punter. We need a punter. Here's a player-friendly deal, friend. And we're going to bring him in, too. We could use, I think, another corner. And I think we're going to bring in another corner. I just said that in, like, the dumbest way possible. We need another corner, so I'm going to bring in another corner. I am going to bring in, and if this is just for a one-year deal, that's what he wants. If he just wants a one-year thing, he does want just a one-year thing. So we'll see if he does Marlon Humphrey? He kind of likes it. So let's up that to, because we have money. We can do these kind of one-year deals for guys. It doesn't matter because it doesn't affect us because we're paying a quarterback on a rookie deal. Does he like that? Got to go a little bit more here. So let's give him, we just need a corner for a year. Does he like that? We fell down the order. Well, you don't get the offer now. You know, I want to bring in one of these corners, but you know, we might. Do any of them have mentor? I guess we can look. Actually, they both have. Actually, only he has mentor. So it actually would behoove us to bring in Marlon Humphrey for more than 1 year, because we do have some young corners on this roster. When you get that mentor player, you do kind of get that little thing here. So you know what? We'll do a 2-year deal for Marlon Humphrey. Does he like that? He really doesn't. He's being a bit of a douchebag right now. Can we get that $14 million and give him $56 million over the course of 2 years? Okay, now that's a little bit better. That puts us in first place. I don't know if we'll get Marlon Humphrey. But, you know, it's possible. We're going to look through here. I still want to improve this corner room just a little bit. Again, play rec is such an important stat for these guys, especially in simulation. And we'll bring in Kendall Fuller as well. Surprised he doesn't have the mentor tag. And Fuller, he likes the deal. He's a lot more workable than that other guy. I was about to call him a mean name for not signing with me. I don't think we need any. We could use an upgrade at free safety, honestly. Darius Washington. Do you want some money? Make an offer. Any offer. He likes the Steelers more than us. Here, take that. Still likes the Steelers more than us. You know, Marlon Humphrey, if he signs with us, he does. If he doesn't, it's, you know, it's no biggie. I would like to get him, but we're going to see what we can do here. Evaluate these offers. And we get Jameson Williams. We get a punter. And we get Kendall Fuller. So it's possibly a good thing. We get the running back. We did get James Conner. And Tank Bigsby. No one else is going to sign you, dude. And we get Tank Bigsby. So there we go. There's our offseason. 5 signings. And we're going to keep it at that. You know, we could have... He's excited to win a Super Bowl, buddy. You're not winning shit in Jacksonville. I'll say that right now. Let's get to the draft. So I wanted a corner. We just ended up doing it. We'll have to just do it in the draft. And right now, Tremaine Hayes might be a gem. 6'4" from Southern Mississippi. He looks really good, actually. Top 5 talent. Round 1 to 2 projection. Looks elite acceleration, elite jumping, great speed, solid strength, great agility, good change of direction, good press, good man coverage. Good zone coverage. His play rec is a little low, but outside from that, he looks really good. B awareness. So Tremaine Hayes might be the pick when we send in our card. We're not going to get Tremaine Hayes because the Texans took him. I don't look at the mock drafts, so I feel like looking at the mock drafts is cheating. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. We'll still make our pick, but I just feel like looking at mock drafts, I just feel like that's cheating. Because it's too accurate. I feel like the mock draft should be a little more wild, if that makes sense. We did look at some other corners, though, and it's going to have to be Antonio Sherwood. Also looks pretty good. His play rec is a B. Maybe didn't test as well, but looks like he also tested pretty good, too. Great. Elite change of direction. Elite acceleration. Great jumping. Great speed. Great strength. So Antonio Sherwood also looks really good, too. And that's going to be the pick for us. It's going to be Antonio Sherwood. 13th in true value. We got him at 14. So A+ pick right there. His player profile, hidden dev, 93 speed, 92 acceleration. So again, we go out and we get another great corner. He is 5'11", so maybe not as big as Tremaine Hayes, who was 6'4". But in Madden, that sort of stuff doesn't really matter as much. So Antonio Sherwood, going to be the pick here. Wanted Tremaine Hayes, but ends up going to the Texans. Another AFC South team kind of outfoxes us for a corner. Rad. Round 3 pick here, Kenya Underwood. Looking for some safeties, some younger safeties. Still want to kind of pile up some younger guys at that position. Find Kenya Underwood. He looks really good. 3rd round free safety and 87 speed. 90 acceleration, 91 agility. Looks pretty good, honestly. So that's a pretty good pick. And then I think I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft. So draft recap here. Let's take a look at this. And Antonio Sherwood, 78 overall. Denzel Boyle, a center that I drafted, kind of took a flyer on him, 73 overall. Kenya Underwood, 75 overall. Blake Schultz, last pick I made was a 72 overall, and then they took Devonta Brooks, is a 71 overall here. Actually, he's looking hidden dev, so I think we've done a very good job in this draft, honestly. A couple hidden dev players. I have to go through all these guys now. Austin Swain, hidden dev defensive tackle. I mean, so I'm gonna lie and say, you know what? I drafted all those guys. No, but CPU did some decent work for us here. And let's go take a look at that corner from the Texans that I wanted. And Tremaine Hayes, 81 overall, hidden dev, 64 overall. I guarantee when I back out of this screen, it's gonna hard lock me in here and I won't be able to move or anything. Yep, I'm gonna have to restart the entire game. Good job, EA. You guys fucking suck, I swear to God. All right, we make a trade here. We're going to acquire Quay Walker and Savion Williams for a second-round pick next year and a third-round pick the following year. Just wanted some extra linebacker depth, honestly, and Quay Walker kind of provides that, and he's on a 3-year deal, so kind of able to get him for somewhat cheap, in my opinion, and who knows, maybe Savion Williams can be something here. I doubt it, but who knows. We are in the middle of training camp. We have got a dev trade upgrade for one of our corners for Shorewood. I believe that's his name, who we just drafted. DB battle. We get a dev trade upgrade. I have to go look at this real quick, honestly. We get a dev trade upgrade. I think that might be the first time I've gotten one of those, honestly. And he's not even in here yet. We're going to have to generate best lineup. There he is. I mean, look at this corner room that we're starting to build. I think it's starting to get pretty good here, but Shorewood gets a dev trade upgrade all the way to superstar. So we know what his dev trade is. We're gonna go here, do some upgrades, and really he needs help on zone coverage, I think. So we're just gonna upgrade his zone coverage, but that's pretty big right there. We have a superstar corner now, along with that corner we drafted last year, who has been pretty good for us. So, you know, Takario Davis, and yeah, so that is just awesome stuff right there. This corner is already up to an 81 overall. So that is super big for us here. And that's really, I think, kind of help this defense get even better. Got some upgrades here for Cam Ward as well. Just going to go with Field General for both of these upgrades for him. Yeah, Field General both times up to an 85 overall. Did the drill with him. Got gold, of course. And yeah, so we're going to finish up some of these drills. And then we are going to kind of see how things are looking for this roster, what it fully looks like for Season 3 after I finish up these drills. So this is the team for Year 3, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Year 3. And here it is. Not too much is different, honestly, up along the offensive line. This guy is eventually probably going to start for us. Going to have to start planning some future moves here, I think, specifically at left tackle. But, you know, wide receiver room a lot better than it was last season, I think. I think this is a very talented wide receiver room. Hopefully Aomatter can take a next step and actually produce for us. Cam Ward should be good. Tank Bigsby should be decent for us. Defensively is where I am very excited about this team. I think we have a very good defensive line. I think at corner we look pretty good, honestly. I think corners might be one of the strengths of this team, if I'm being entirely honest. I think there's a lot of things we can do here at corner. We're actually going to start Underwood at safety. You know, we have Sherwood and Underwood. There's a lot of wood on this defense. But we're probably going to start looking at eventually, you know, replacing some of these guys along the defensive line. Jeffrey Simmons starting to get up there and age. In terms of our specialists, Savion Williams is going to be our slot receiver. No, he's not. Greathouse is going to be our slot receiver. And so, yeah, I think we look pretty good right here. Sherwood is going to be our slot corner as well. So there we go. I think this team is going to compete pretty well in the AFC South. So when I come back, I'll check in with you in the mid-season mark, and we'll see if we're on the right track. So we are at the mid-season mark, and we are a perfect 7-0. Things are looking up for this team right now, and let's go take a look at the stats and awards. Cam Ward, 19 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 2,400 yards on the season. Tank Bigsby having a okay season, 7 touchdowns though. Also have James Conner here. Receiving wise, Jamison Williams playing pretty awesome. Jaden Greathouse playing awesome. Shamara DK, good season. Tank Bigsby putting up a great season, actually receiving. Then you see Chiga Zimo with a pretty good season. And there, that is Gunnar Helm playing pretty well as well. So all in all, pretty good stuff right here. And then in terms of the defense, we are looking at 9.5 sacks so far for Ruben Bain Jr. Oladim Olafemi Oladejo, 8.5 sacks. Jeffrey Simmons with some sacks as well. So we are just kicking some ass here right now. And interception from Antonio Sherwood, Roger McCreary, Jaquan Brisker. All of our interceptions are coming from our corners, which is what I like to see, and a safety, which is what I like to see, honestly. Our corners leading the way with interceptions. So we are going to simulate to the end of the season, see if we make the playoffs. We're looking pretty good, but you know what? Jaguars sticking around right there at 5-1. So we end up making the playoffs at 16-1, the best team in the entire NFC, AFC, 16-1. Awesome stuff here. Take a look at these stats and awards. Cam Ward, a sensational season, 44 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, almost 6,000 yards. Tank Bigsby probably has had the best season I've had a running back have in Sim the entire time I've been doing these Madden 26 rebuilds. And then Jaden Greathouse, 1,500 yards. Jameson Williams, 1,300 yards. Shamara DK, 1,100 yards. Chigo Conquo, 700 yards. 600 for Tank Bigsby. Gunnar Helm had a great season. And just awesome stuff from the offense. Defensively, how did we do? We did amazing. Look at this. Jeffrey Simmons, 18.5 sacks. Ruben Bain Jr., 15.5 sacks. Olafemi Oladejo, 14 sacks. I mean, just some awesome production from this defense here. And then we take a look here at the corners. 3 interceptions for Roger McCreary, Cedric Gray, some interceptions. So really nice stuff here from this defense. Played very well. And you kind of have to play that well if you were going to go 16-1. We have a bunch of upgrades to do here. And let's go take a look at it. It's Jaden Greathouse with 7 upgrades. That's a ton. And we are going to just go with Playmaker here. Get his route running even better. Just going to keep going with that. It's weird. We upgrade Playmaker, and then it falls all the way down to the bottom of his thingy there. So we're just going to keep upgrading that. See what we get with this. And then we'll be on the way to the playoffs. Only 2 games that we'll have to play to potentially get into the Super Bowl here. And this has been a relatively quick rebuild. Honestly, I think. First year didn't go great. Second year went a little bit better. And this is now the 3rd year, and it's going great, I would say, honestly. Team is progressing pretty well. And Jaden Greathouse is going to be all the way up to an 85 overall here. And he still has normal dev. You figured he'd get an upgrade in dev trade or something like that, having a season like that, but I guess not. Cam Ward is awesome, of course. And we're going to make a few upgrades here. Make an upgrade there. So he is now up to pretty good upgrade here, an 89 overall. And looking pretty good. So had a great season. A ton of upgrades here for a lot of these guys. Ruben Bain Jr. had a great season. Antonio Sherwood is a superstar dev. We're going to get him up to an 85 overall. So it's not the corner that we originally wanted. We had to settle for him, I suppose. But so far, he looks absolutely sensational for us. And yeah, we are going to go with... I'm not really sure which one of these to go with because I don't really... I guess we'll go with short route KO. I don't really pay too much attention to these abilities because I really never end up getting players who get those. So ton of upgrades to do here for these guys before we get into the playoffs. And let's go see who we're going to play in the playoffs. So for our first playoff game of this rebuild, we're going to be taking on the Denver Broncos. They went 9-8. Technically, they're better overall than us, but only by 1 here. So I think we should be able to beat them. Let's go see. Let's get into play the moments. So we are going to beat the Broncos here. Stepped in, played a few of these moments here, and we're able to pretty much beat them down. They're going to go for an onside kick. So I guess we'll come in here, putting together a late comeback here with around 35 seconds left to go in the game. And we are just going to get that football, fall on it, and take a couple knees, and we are going to be on to the AFC Championship game here, and that's going to do it here. 24-16, we are moving on in the AFC playoffs, going to the AFC Championship game here. So far, so good with our first playoff run in this rebuild. Cam Ward, 3 touchdowns, 313 yards on the day in the rain, too. So pretty good day for him. And let's go see who we're going to be playing in the AFC Championship game here. Let's just go in here and get an upgrade here for Cam Ward. And we're going to go with the field general again. So he's now up to a 90 overall. And still at star development. I don't think you get any upgrades just yet. So 24-16 is the final of that one. Who are we playing in the AFC Championship game? This could end up being a short rebuild, if I'm being honest. We're taking on the Steelers here, 9-8. And again, about the same overall, but we'll see if we're able to beat them when we get into play the moments. So AFC Championship game, we are in the final 2 minutes here. A couple more plays. Tank Bigsby going to run in for a touchdown. And that should be your dagger here for this AFC Championship game over the Steelers, and it is 21-6 here. We are heading to the Super Bowl at 17-1, so just one game away from really having a super successful rebuild here in Madden 26. So one final look at the team before we go into the Super Bowl. Chig Okonkwo up to Superstar Dev. Tank Bigsby up to Superstar Dev. Cam Ward up to Superstar. Defensively, we have Jeffrey Simmons, Superstar X Factor. Roger McCreary up to Superstar. I mean, look at this team right now, man. This is absolutely some awesome stuff here. We're going to make Sherwood our CB2, but this team looks pretty cracked, if I'm being honest here. Well, Dejo goes up to Superstar. I'm surprised Bane didn't go up to anything, if I'm being entirely honest. Underwood is a star. This team just looks absolutely filthy, and I think we're about to go and beat up on the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl. So let's get to it. So might as well record this part. We're kind of, in the Super Bowl. Figured it'd probably something I can record here with a scoring opportunity here. And let's try to make something happen here. Lions, Titans, pretty close game so far right now. And we are just going to throw this one to Sadiq. And nice little move right there. Picks up some nice yardage on the play. Come back here now. Just kind of, I probably really shouldn't be throwing the ball out of under center. But, we're going to try to get Sadiq, and we do get Sadiq. He gets a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And that's why I like having a lot of tight ends, personally, because there's all of these formations where you have 2 to 3 tight ends on the field. Why not get some tight ends and get these guys involved? Kenyon Sadiq right there, getting the touchdown. That's going to put us up here 7 points in the Super Bowl. So let's try to see, can our defense hold on here, maybe get a stop, maybe get an interception, make something happen here. For, this could almost be the knockout punch here. Piss missile, and that's going to be held on to. It's Chig Okonkwo. What tight end is going to beat you? That's our team. What receiver is going to beat you? That's our team. It doesn't matter who you have. I think we've just built a team where an offense where there's just too many guys to account for. Let's catch the football, but it's out of bounds. Doesn't matter. 31-26. Someone's jersey is flipping out right there. We win the Super Bowl 31-26, 17-1 season, one blemish on the record. But the Tennessee Titans finally win a Super Bowl with their coach that everyone thinks should probably be fired and probably should be fired. But we defeat the Lions, and we did it with one of their key pieces that they thought would help them win a Super Bowl, Jameson Williams. We brought him to Tennessee, and we win a Super Bowl with him, and he is still under contract for a very decent while here. But, Cam Ward's still on his rookie deal. Some other guys we're going to have to pay that we're going to have to re-sign. But apart from that, nothing too extreme right there. Cam Ward, great game outside of the one interception. take a quick look at these player stats. I'm not sure why it always starts at both. Cam Ward, the 1 interception, 238 yards. Tank Bigsby didn't really have a great game in Sim. And then receiving wise, Chigoziem Okonkwo. Then you got 2 for Great House. Kenyon Sadiq. Jameson Williams, kind of a quiet game, honestly, but, you know, that's kind of what you expect from, I would say, a team like the Lions. Are probably not going to let our best receivers just beat them, so it had to be guys like Great House, had to be Kenyon Sadiq doing some stuff, had to be Chigo Okonkwo. Of course, he would break on a game where they shut down our receivers. Kind of makes sense. Defensively, what a game here. 2 sacks for Jeffrey Simmons, sack for Cedric Gray, Travandre Sweat, Ruben Bain Jr., winning the Super Bowl in Hard Rock Stadium where the Miami Hurricane play. And then Antonio Sherwood with the interception right there. What a pick that was. I mean, we didn't get the corner we wanted, but we ended up getting maybe a better one. So let's get on to the next season. Couple of retirements. It's going to be James Conner and Juan Thornhill retiring after winning the Duper Bowl. So that's not too bad for us, honestly. Those guys win a Super Bowl right off into the sunset. And yeah, so we have a lot of stuff to do here. 2027 recap. We are your Super Bowl champions. Cam Ward was the Super Bowl MVP. None of our players won an award except Tank Bigsby was the Offensive Player of the Year, probably from all his receiving stuff. And then Brian Callahan ends up winning Coach of the Year. So pretty good stuff right there. I think we have some upgrades for a couple players. This might just end up being like practice squad guys. It is. So give all those guys their upgrades. And let's go see who we have to resign, because we're probably going to start running into, you know, having to pay players. That's kind of the gift and the curse of this. So accept the option for Cam Ward. We are going to accept that option. And Jeffrey Simmons, he is still really good, and we have a lot of cap space, so we're going to reward him. This might be one of his last contracts, so we're kind of going to load up, re-sign these guys. Cedric Gray, he doesn't want to stick around, but I feel like if we give him enough money, I would like to keep him here. And he's willing to stay. I want to keep this defense together. That's kind of the goal here. Keep this defense intact. Devondre Sweat going to re-sign. Peter Skoronski, we are going to re-sign as well. A lot of contracts going to have to be given out. He's willing to stay. Cody Barton, we're going to let walk. A little old. Lloyd Cushenberry, we're going to let walk. And a lot of these guys, we're going to let walk. Even Kendall Fuller, we're going to let walk. Lonnie Johnson Jr., we're going to let walk. Jacoby Brissett, going to let walk. Joey Sly, we're going to let walk. We have a upgrade at center, and that is the rookie that we took last year, or in this most recent draft, and that is going to be Denzel Boyle. He is an 81 overall. He has progressed a ton. He somehow won Offensive Lineman of the Year. Don't know how he won it, but I'll take it. He got a bunch of upgrade points, so 81 right there. There's a new lineman that's going to be starting for us. And yeah, so this offense, for the most part, it's going to be intact. This defense, for the most part, all of our key players are going to be here. Might have to go find some depth a little bit there, find some extra depth pieces at corner. But apart from that, we are good, honestly. We are good here. And then this guy who we drafted, who didn't even play any, has star development. So our defensive line looks awesome. This linebacking core looks awesome. Everything about this team looks awesome. And we are going to advance on here. Going to find us a new kicker. And going to try to take another run at trying to win a Super Bowl here. And there's Joe Alt right there. We could upgrade our offensive line massively right there. Why not upgrade our offensive line? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why not? I have no idea if Joe Alt's interested. He's not. Joe Alt doesn't want to be here. Does not want to be a Tennessee Titan. I guess he's fine with being a loser. That's fine. You can go do that. Is there anyone up here that is a clear upgrade who's interested in us? Rasheed Walker, a little bit here. I feel like this is the one part of our roster where we could go for an upgrade. And over Dan Moore, who is 29. But I think I'm going to think better of it, actually. Not going to go out there and do that. Strong safety. I think it's safety. We're fine, honestly. We have Underwood there. We have some depth behind those guys. Maybe strong safety. Do we need another strong safety? We have Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Winston Jr., so we're kind of good there. I think maybe an extra corner, if I'm being honest. Terrion Arnold is here. He could just be an extra corner we have on this team. Why not? Honestly, why not just go out and get another corner? Even though I know he gets cooked in real life a lot, honestly. Yeah, so we're going to do that. And I don't really think we have much else we need to do for this defense. I think we're set just about everywhere on this defense. I mean, there's really not a lot of guys we need to go out here and add. We're good here. Even, you know what I mean? We're honestly good. We're good everywhere. We're good at edge. We don't need to go out and get any edge rushers. We're good at defensive tackle. Again, we have built this team up so good that we don't really need to go out here and do anything that's like extreme. For this roster, we're good at guard. Honestly, I think we're good at left guard. Yeah, we're good there. We're good at center. We're good at left tackle. We're okay at left tackle. I would like an upgrade. It's just that none of these guys really want to sign. I guess Rasheed Walker could be a signing if he's interested, 2-year. But like, why? You know what I mean? I guess that's kind of my thinking on it. Tight end room, we're good at tight end. We're good at receiver. We don't really need any more receivers. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for free agency, honestly. Yeah, I think we're just going to go to our targeted players, see what we got here. And, oh yeah, we need a kicker. So, we did let Joey Sly walk. This time, we are going to bring in Cardi. And he's going to be our kicker. Pay him some money. I don't want to spend too much money because we do have some extensions coming up that are big. So, want to kind of just stay away from any unnecessary spending. And we get both guys. We get Joshua Cardi and Terrion Arnold. So we get another corner on this team. That's all we really need to do. So Joe Alt goes. He just wants to stay in LA because he ends up signing with the Rams. So let's get to the draft. So here we are in the draft. We're going to make our selection here. This is going to be the only pick I'm actually going to do because we are going to be heading into our last year of the draft. And, you know, I feel like my scouts did nothing for me, if I'm being entirely honest. This receiver does look kind of good. What do you run? 4.39. Looks okay. Nothing amazing, if I'm being honest. Again, take a look here at some of these tackles. Maybe there's a tackle that we like, but honestly, I think all the tackles got taken. Is there a good right tackle over here? Not really. Yeah. Kind of, you know, don't really see anything I like, if I'm being entirely honest. Any safeties that look good? This guy's around 1 to 2 safety. What's his 40 time? It's an alright 40 time, nothing special. So safety doesn't look all that interesting. And around 2 to 3 safety. DeAndre Kellum actually looks okay, but 40 time isn't particularly great. I know it's not the most important thing in the world. Kind of at a loss here on what to do because we're good at edge. This guy's around 2 to 3 talent, and there's only one round 1 talent that we have looked at, and it is a receiver. Richard Quick. screw it. Add some more speed, because AO Manor and DK's contracts are coming up here. And, well, there we go. Number 14 in true value, got him at 32. Again, and there you go, has hidden dev. The reason why I make this pick is because, granted, we are going into last year, I guess logically thinking, if you know that you have some future free agent receivers coming up, we're not going to bring back both DK and AO Manor. We're only going to bring back one of them, so might as well kind of get one of their replacements in the building now. A year early, so they're ready to go for the season that we're not going to do. So that's the end of the draft. And our draft recap is pretty good, honestly. Well, this last Scott Walker, is that former Wisconsin governor Scott Walker? I don't know. But Richard Quick looks really good, a 77 overall, and then they took a running back here out of Notre Dame, 75 overall here, and 92 speed. Looks really good, honestly. Yeah, so that looks like a really good pick, and it's one I didn't make, so really good pick right there. Those first two picks, an edge guy and Wade Spicer, and that's the draft. So let's get in and see what this roster looks like for the final year of this rebuild. So this is the team for the final year of the rebuild. We are an 87 overall offense, 87 overall defense. This team looks pretty cracked, if I'm being honest. I think we've done a very good job building this team up. Line looks okay. I think it looks really good, actually. Denzel Boyle will be good. Evan Neal has been good for us. Look great at tight end. Defense, I mean, this defense just, I think we've done I'm very proud of the defense we've built here. I think we have a great corner room. Yeah, I mean, I think this defense is just kind of great, honestly. So, I mean, the only way to go for this defense is just to keep getting better. But I think we just look really good here. I think we have a really good defense. And have I said I think we have a really good defense? I think we have a very good defense. High energy defense. I think we're going to be good. And yeah, we'll see you in the playoffs. We end up going 16-1 back-to-back years here in this franchise. And 88 overall, 89 overall offense, 88 overall defense. Let's go take a look at these stats and awards. Cam Ward, 5,400 yards, 39 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Tank Bigsby, again, has been the one running back out of all the rebuilds I've done so far, which is not a lot, but it's a decent amount, who has been really consistently good for us. Tank Bigsby is the man. 15 rushing touchdowns. Take a look at this offense here. Look at the rookie, Richard Quick, a guy who I just took on a whim. I just said, let's just take this guy, I guess. 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns for Jamison Williams. Jaden Greathouse with 9 touchdowns. Chigoziem Okonkwo, 3 touchdowns. Tank Bigsby, 3 receiving touchdowns. Not as many receiving touchdowns as he had previously. But either way, he has been completely awesome for us. And take a look at this defense. Again, Jeffrey Simmons, 14.5 sacks. Now moved into the mentor role as his career probably begins to wind down. Not as many sacks as last year, but I still think really our defense was very good again. And again, bunch of turnovers, honestly. Lots of interceptions. We had a great year, and forced fumbles. We forced a decent amount of fumbles, and we recovered 4 of them. So that's a lot of turnovers we got. Let's get into the playoffs, and let's see who we're going to play in the divisional round. So in a rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year, we're going to be taking on the Steelers. So I'm going to get into play the moments, and we'll see how this works out. I feel pretty good about it. One kneel down in the AFC divisional round, and we are going to be on our way to another AFC Championship game, back-to-back years here. We're going to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 14-3, a really close one, and we are moving on to the next round of the playoffs. AFC Championship game, taking on the Bengals. They were using their playbook. Maybe we're using it better than them, so let's go see if we can beat Joe Burrow. Here we go, one kick to send us to 1 Super Bowl, coming right up. Kick is up, good, and away. And the Tennessee Titans are heading back to yet another Super Bowl. Back-to-back AFC championships here. On to the Super Bowl we go as we defeat the Bengals 19-7. We're taking on Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. They went 10-7. We're better than them. We have an 88 overall, 89 overall offense, 88 overall defense. So let's see if we can beat Tampa Bay. So here it is, game on the line, fourth quarter. We have a 3-point lead, and we're going to try to win the Super Bowl. We're going to try to do that, and then they want to show me this stuff. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I know some people like these sorts of little things, but it's a close game. It's like, why are we like wasting time with this? I know someone's like, it really immerses me. Go watch TV. Okay, go watch TV. Down goes Baker. We bring him down. T'Vondre Sweat, his second sack of the game. I'm a little surprised they're not hurrying this up here. And are they actually going to hike the ball? They are going to hike it. We're able to get off of that block right there. And they are going to get to the 2-minute warning. And 9 here. Going to bring the tight end in. And that's almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. We are one drive away from winning the Super Bowl, going back to back. All we need to do here, so I'm just going to try to run this football. Tank Bigsby going to pick up the first down, and that is probably just going to about do it. I should probably set this to chew clock. Sniffing out the screens, and a little bit of this I have played. And he completely ignores the blocker right there. We get to 4th and 1. I really appreciate him just ignoring the blocker. He goes to block someone else. We actually are going to run this football. We're going to try to pick up this first down. See if we can do it. 4th and 1, Super Bowl on the line. And we are just going to do it right there. First down. And that is going to be ball game right here. And we are going to go back to back. We're going to beat Tampa Bay in their own house, in their backyard. And one final kneel down is going to do it. Just let the clock, right? That was so dramatic. And then the clock says, hey, you want to do another kneel down? Either way, we're Super Bowl champions. Back to back here, 17-14 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield cannot do, I believe, what Tom Brady did. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady won the Super Bowl in the home stadium. But we end up going back-to-back here. There's probably a lot of players last year here in Tennessee. Probably Jeffrey Simmons. I don't expect him to come back. Cam Ward wins another Super Bowl. Give him 2. And take a look here at these player stats. And Cam Ward, 1 interception on the day, 19-29. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception rushing. Tank Bigsby did have a fumble. Sure he did. And then Richard Quick. We're going to have to go look at Richard Quick here as we close out this video, because he was definitely the right pick. And this defense, again, T'Vondre Sweat, 2 sacks, 1.5 for Jeffrey Simmons. Ruben Bain Jr. Aaron Arnold ends up getting a sack. We get an interception from Cedric Gray. It's phenomenal. Amazing stuff here. Let's go take a look at this lineup here. Take a final look at this roster. And let's generate best lineup. Reorder it. And there it is, man. Cam Ward. What more can I say? But Richard Quick. This guy, superstar X Factor. I mean, when I said that I wanted to get a Alec Aomanor and a Chimera DK replacement, this isn't what I meant in year 1 for this guy to just kind of go off like this, turn into this amazing player. I believe he won, if we can go look through here, I believe he won Rookie of the Year, if we can find it. Pro Bowl appearance, that helped his thing. I'm trying to find where that is, but he did get a dev trade upgrade if I can find it. Superstar X Factor development increased, offensive Rookie of the Year. So I mean, he had a great season, so it makes sense he would be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Richard Quick. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of this receiving core. We have Greathouse on here. I mean, we're probably going to bring back Tremere DK. That's who's going to come back. Jameson Williams goes up to superstar. We got Sevion Williams on this roster. I mean, this team is still set up to have another monster year. I mean, Cedric Gray turned into a star in this franchise, in this rebuild. Quay Walker was pretty good for us. Probably have to rebuild the linebacker depth a little bit. But I think our edge position was great. We're great at safety, and we're great at corner. I mean, we are set at corner very well. Set at defensive tackle as well. I mean, just put together a pretty nasty team, honestly, that can win in any sort of way. And yeah, this is probably the best rebuild we've done so far. 2 Super Bowls. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure where to look at league history. Stats and award, legacy leaderboard. We can go take a look here. Brian Callahan, 2 Super Bowls, 2 AFC championships. I mean, he's up over some of these other guys here. I mean, he's, pretty good stuff, honestly. And, take a look here at quarterback. Let's see where Cam Ward ended up. Aaron Rodgers ended up here. Because I don't think the other rights to have Tom Brady in here, but Cam Ward here, 2 Super Bowls, 2 AFC championships, 2 yearly awards. He has been great for us. Garrett Nussmeier might have peaked kind of early, but either way, Cam Ward is kind of the dominant quarterback in the AFC. Probably helps that we never even ran into Patrick Mahomes at all. We did run into Burrow, but we didn't run into Lamar. We didn't run into, Josh Allen. Avoided Mahomes, and was able to get some needed championships here. And we look around here. If any of our receivers are up here, honestly, I don't think they would be. But there's Jameson Williams, 2 Super Bowls. So he's looking pretty good here. Some of these other guys we have are pretty good. Let's take a look at our edge players. Are any of our edge players up here? I don't think they are. Oladejo's up here, starting to build on his legacy. Probably gonna have to redo his contract if we were gonna keep playing this. But there's Bane. He has 2 Super Bowls. So defensive tackle, I'm sure Jeffrey Simmons is up here. He has 2 Super Bowls. So we have a team full of a lot of beasts who did a lot of great things for us. Marlon Humphrey probably regrets not signing with us, but whatever. You can go sign in Jacksonville. We'll just draft some awesome beastly corners, and that's what we decided to do. And I think that was the thing that really just kind of set it off for us, was drafting Sherwood here. He was kind of, I think, the best player we picked outside of Richard Quick. But this was a great pick. This was a great rebuild. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe. Go check out my actual Tennessee Titans franchise, because I actually have a Tennessee Titans franchise that I do. So go check that one out. I want to thank you for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like on the button. Be sure to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hype the video if you want to hype it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching.